Everybody, welcome. It's me, your girl, Serahdonald, and we're here with another story time. Today, I'm trying to tell you about a very major mistake that I almost made, but grateful that I did not. And basically, it's about real estate in Nigeria, in Lagos, a property I bought, the issue it gave me. I spent an entire day in police station. Imagine say you use your money, like you want to use your money to bring problem for yourself. Well, while that has been sorted, and it was sorted really fast, so I will not be dropping the names and everything. The way I had planned to make this video before was if the developer in question was not solving the issue, I was trying to call the name. But now the fact that it would be like a damage, or how do you call it, if you have issues with someone and the person was able to sort it, especially the person was able to sort it fast and the law intervenes and all. So I don't want to go from that to, there's a difference between defamation and, okay, when someone does wrong, blah, blah, blah. You guys know what I'm talking about. And yes, please, before I get into this video, whenever I talk about like mistakes I made or so, I'm doing this thing because I have spent this money, right? I spent money making mistakes, and I'm trying to bring it to you guys so that you will not repeat the same mistake. It's not to discourage you from buying, because there are issues everywhere. But even me, I learned from it. So in my next property and my next property, I always take the mistakes that I've learned. I'm saying this because most times a lot of people just come and maybe watch like 2 minutes and say, this is why I'll never invest in Nigeria. This is why I'll never invest in real estate. It's okay if you don't want to invest. But the whole idea of these videos and calling out mistakes is not for you not to invest, but for you to take your pen and paper and say, okay, this is what Serah did. Let me do differently. I had to learn these things, a hard way for you not to. So anyway, get your pen and paper or whatever, like how you like to listen to me. I got a property. Now, this property, I don't know how to explain it, but I'll try in the best way that I can without giving out too much information. So there are two estates together. So there is estate 1 and estate 2. Two of them have totally different names. It's not even like gate 1, like they have 2 different names. It's 2 different estates, but the same facility management is managing the both because it was developed by the same person. So the first one, he developed it with, the first side of the estate is a 4-bed. The other side is like 2 stories. So different ways that it was developed. So the people who are into 2 stories, I went to the first one. It was 2. I'm not interested. Like it's a hard sale. It's hard for Airbnb. Do you get? So I mean, if I'm looking for like a family space, 4-bed, 3-bed, that was perfect. The other one was perfect, but the first one was like 2 floors and I didn't want that. So I ran from that one. I went to the next one, right? Which is the same developer. Now, they share the same fence. Now, when this developer was developing these properties, he sold it and marketed it as 24 hours light, 24 hours water. Now, in Nigeria, right, we don't have 24 hours light as of now, as of time of this video. In my area, the light is relatively way better than before, but we still do not have. So when you're promising someone that they're going to get power running for 24 hours, that means you have other options on how you want to give the person power. Either you're going to have a fully solar powered estate, or you're going to get them generator. But it's you, not the government, because you're the one that promised 24 hours, and also water. Now, basically, the estates like that are more expensive. You're buying it more expensive than standalone. The reason it's more expensive is because you're also paying for these facilities that the developer has given you. So aside from the house, the developer has invested in a transformer and water treatment, especially in places like Lekki where you need to treat the water. He has invested in all that. So it's more expensive. You might be buying like a 3-bedroom in an estate for 200 million. And be buying a 3-bedroom in a standalone for 100 million. So you're not just buying, you're paying for the security. They're telling you that 24-hour security, things like that. So that was what they used to market it. Now, because it is the same estate, the developer now decided that they are going to use the same generator to power both estates, and they're going to use the same water treatment and all that. Now, when you're doing that, that means that generator has to be 24 hours, because if one estate has about 60 houses, right? That means the next house as well, they're like, it's more load. So you need to get a generator that can service both places, that can service both house like comfortably. You need to get water treatment that can service both, and most importantly, you need to get 24 hours facility managers and plumbers and all that, because you promise, and that is how you sold the place very expensive. Now when you sell a place like this is typically ideal for Airbnb, because as you know, if you've watched any of my video where I talk about Airbnb, it is easier to run Airbnb in a serviced apartment, because even if I'm abroad, I don't have to bother about security because I'm already paying my service charge. I don't have to bother about water. If they call me at night to say that water is not good, or they call my manager, because there is all this service are like 24 hours, the people that are servicing it live there. So it's quite expensive. So that's what you're paying for. Fact that you can call a facility manager, the fact that people can check in. So it's usually very ideal for Airbnb, and this is what I got it for. Now, the first time, I know, after I saw the place, I bought the place, I used the lawyer. You guys know, like, I am so big on lawyers, and this is actually the reason I was able to win this case. So as I got a lawyer, the lawyer checked everything. The first thing they gave me was not even complete. The lawyer said, no, go back, spoke to their lawyer, said that this is what I wanted. In fact, when they got, I'm going to put my lawyer's details in the description and the comment as well. When that lawyer got a message from my own lawyer, they knew that no, this person, because when I even came, my lawyer told me to go and collect the document. When I went, I started having a conversation with the developer's lawyer. And he was like, your lawyer is did you know that you're the only one that have asked for this? Other people haven't asked for it and stuff like that. Because most times they're the developer's friend, so they just trust, buy it from a friendship point of view and things like that. I say, I don't play. I do my search. I don't care. Like, search, make sure that the house is for residential, not commercial. So you see a lot of demolition happening in Lagos. That's because these places were actually made for the what do you call it again? The permit they got was for commercial use, but some of these people are so greedy, they take people's money, build it, before you know it, they've relocated to Canada. You're on your own. You didn't do your checks. You didn't check all that. So I checked all that. Everything was free to go. Now, the good parts of where I almost made a mistake, but I did not. My lawyer got back and said, okay, since you're going to be using this for business reasons, right? You need to have a contract with the developer. Why? And the facility management. So you're going to have a different one, the facility management and the developer. You need the developer to state that he designed this place to have a 24 hours light, 24 hours this, that, especially since you're going to be using it for business. And most importantly, another contract with the facility management to also say that this place, you can use it for Airbnb, because that is why you're buying it. You can use it for Airbnb, short let. That is actually the reason you're buying it. So it is important. I didn't get why she told me to do that, but I did that, got a contract with the developer. All of a sudden, the developer now decides that, okay, no, obviously, what I didn't do, and which I feel like that one is kind of like a stretch, is that I went, I saw the generator, I saw the water plant, I saw everything, but I did not get an engineer to come and check how good the generator is. That's kind of like a stretch. And then I asked a few people about the place and about the service. And the people were like, so far the service is great. The generator comes on when it's supposed to. Now, mind you, they're still, doing this place. People are yet to move in. Now, guess what? Everybody moves in. People move in, start using it for business. Most people use it for business. Guess what happens? By the time the place is full, generator starts having issue. Barely a year. And this generator was meant to power the 2 estates. So what's happening? You got it right. This guy went to use like a refurbished generator that wasn't enough to power both estates, but put it out to power only one estate. Make it make sense. Why didn't we notice at first? Why did I ask these people and they told me that everything is going fine? Because at that time, the generator could carry the load that they currently had. they did not have a lot of people. In fact, I told you like it's estate 1 and estate 2. Estate 2 was not even anywhere full. I was among the first 2 people to get into the estate. So because estate 2 wasn't finished, the generator was working fine because it could carry that load. But when the estate 2 was now full and everybody turned on their appliances, the gen backed up. So of course, right, those guys that I asked about the place, they were right. The generator could work, but the generator couldn't power both estate. So obviously, by the time everybody put on everything, it just made sense that the generator had to collapse. Now, what is this guy saying? Oh, at the end of the day, I've bought it. The agreement was to buy this. The agreement was to buy that and all that. And it's been delivered. So any other thing from there is us. How is it homeowners? Like your place is barely a year. There's like warranty for all these things. Now, I remember that my lawyer made me do contract, remember, with the facility management company, which is to say, because there are 2 issues. I'm going to come back to the second one again. There is a facility management company, and also there is like the developer. So the developer in his contract, the separate contract that I had with him, was that these are the things that this is how this place will come, and this is the warranty, the guarantee for the things in the house, and how long these things are supposed to last, and if it doesn't last, when they're going to change it, especially as example, light, water, and everything. So obviously, what are you saying? It's not even up to 3-4 years and these things are breaking out. So according to the contract, you're meant to replace it. And the guy goes like, no, it's not like that, because at the end of the day, when he did the place, the price of generator and the price of a brand new generator now is not, people do things like, they do it a lot in Nigeria, the anyhowness of Nigeria. Instead of them to do something well and get it right, that's why it looks like you keep preparing things. So instead of you to just go and buy a brand new generator, even if it's from a company that will let you pay small, it is better know that you've shut off yourself out of it. But instead, you're going to buy a refurbished generator, which is not even okay to power both places. Like, even if you want to buy a refurbished generator, why are you not buying a generator of somewhere that, how like you buy, like that generator now is good, but not good enough for all that building. So you mistakenly buy it. You could have easily sold it to someone else who has that same capacity, if that makes sense. So even if you're buying something that is not fairly used, you should have gotten an engineer, do proper things, because now you're going to end up spending more, because that one has backed up now based on the fact that people turned up everything and it has backed up. It cannot be, it's now past refurbishing. And secondly, these are the things. So anyway, there was so much like back and forth because the prices of things now are ridiculously high compared to when the property was gotten and everything. So of course, me, everything I do, lawyer, legal, everything for me. So of course, my lawyer reached out, wrote that this is based on our agreement, this is what you're meant to do, this is what you're meant to provide, things like that. These are the things you didn't provide. And we went to the police station. Now, basically, the point of going to police station is that you go to police stations when things happen to file a complaint. The job of the police is to mediate before you now start going to court, to look at both parties and look at it and say, okay, you're wrong here, you're wrong here. If you now want to go to court, that's fine. And the police can also make people write an undertaking. So whatever you do is what you can also take to the court. Like, you can get like, the police can write that, okay, this person reported this incident, or so in case you go ahead now and refurbish that generator and something happens, because they don't want to take you to court this time around, and they now take you to court, you can bring in, they'll ask you, did you do a police report? So we did all that. It was during the report that we now realized that the guy in question is not around. So he got some people in like a management and all to take care of it. He was not told, he was not aware. You see, the wickedness of people, obviously he didn't go to buy the generator by himself. He gave it to people who he felt knows what they are doing. And because they wanted to cheat him, this is the route they took. And in the process of cheating him, he is now the one that had to now suffer it. So it was when he got to this part when the police had to be involved, and he obviously the next stage is court, that he himself now had to be involved. That was when he realized everything that was happening, because he's so busy, he has a lot of place, he had to put like a management to be like the middle person that is talking to people. Because the management is cheating, obviously they're not able to take those things to him. They want to take care of the ones that they can take care of. That's why me in Nigeria, I am big on my receipts. I've mentioned this thing thing. I think in my last video I mentioned this, even with my helps, how I handle things. I might want to go to a shop. I know that that shop is more expensive, but if I go to markets, there's no warranty I'm getting in that market. So why not I just go to shop and I know that my receipt is coming straight from the shop? It's very important. Example, if you had gone to a generator company now by himself to buy that thing, instead of trusting them to use some people, he would have been able to, they will even personally email him straight. They will send him an email on what is. But anyway, so that now became a problem of him and the management. But of course, how he wants to handle them, how he wants to get his money back, but he was made to get another generator. Lesson learned. And then one of the biggest thing I learned was, not just because people did not sign that contract, so they were already at a loss, like, hey, what are we going to do? Me, I pulled out from what they used to market the stuff, the marketing, the contract, my documents. I had everything intact, so I knew I was now able to help every other person, because remember, other people did not ask for these things. So if I didn't have mine, we would have now all had to come together to raise money to buy another one, because there'll be nothing to really use against him. Now, coming to the facility management, right? The facility management, then they now decided that they do not want to use the place for Airbnb again, because some people, when they buy a place as a family place, they don't want Airbnb, they don't want short let. And the facility manager wrote that, oh, this place can no longer be used for a short let. Auntie, uncle, that's on you. Because guess what? My lawyer also made me sign that contract. So guess what? If you don't want me to use this place for a short let, you have to give me back my money, because when I was buying it, I was, quote unquote, I was clear that this is the business reason. It is registered under a business. All the taxes and everything that needs to be paid under it is paid. So it is an area that is also recognized for that. Just basically everything. They're like, oh, okay, this lady, she's ready for us. So anywhere we go, she's there. So we now had to come up with an agreement, like, okay, see, based on the fact that to respect for people, okay, can we stop parties? No parties here. No, me, I'm fine, because I don't even like taking parties. I even like people taking it as maybe 6 months, 1 year. I think I mentioned it before that the reason I don't have strength for it. So the reason I don't advertise it is that I'm always looking for long-term people that can take it for like 6 months, 1 year. Now, so you can also just call it yearly tenants or quarterly, but the difference is that it's furnished and they don't have to deal with the facility management. They deal with me. So if there's anything like paying their dues and all that, they have to do it through me, not the facility management company. So of course we came with a compromise. At the end of the day, everything is for the betterment of you, the security. If people are not coming in and out of there, it's for the betterment. But I said I was going to come and tell my people, because at the end of the day, this is what using a lawyer saved me from. This is what having all my documentation saved me from. See, and this is what not being scared of going to court. Even when I do videos like this, people come and say, no, be to go to court, is to get a lawyer. Some cases have been in court for 6 years, 7 years, but they've not tried. Have you reached out to Ldera? Like I saw someone the other day, he was telling me about the issues he had with his landlord. And I said, have you reached out to these people? First of all, where is your agreement? Oh, I don't have any agreement. Where is your receipt? I don't have any receipt. You paid a whole 7 million naira to rent a place, no agreement, no receipt, because of how much you're going to pay a lawyer. She said, at the end of the day, to start paying a lawyer. I say, you don't see him now. So that lawyer you're running from, you get it. It's just that unfortunately now you're giving the lawyer more work and more things to look for, because the lawyer doesn't have documents to work with. So they have to now start, looking for other ways, that common right laws and things like that they can use to win your case. So it was a sweet win. It was honest. I spent my day. It took my entire day, but at the end of the day, it was worth it. It was really worth it. And I'm grateful that I always do the right things, regardless of where I live. I'm always standing for, let me do the right things. But anyways, guys, actually, I have another story time on another issue with another developer, but that one is still pending. I'm going to give you guys a full story when I'm done. I love to finish everything. In fact, this one is almost similar, because it's the same two sharing apartments kind of thing, but I would like to finish And so when I'm giving the gist, I'll give it to you people once and for all. But anyway, I hope you did enjoy watching this. If you have any question, if you need help with anything, if you want one-on-one consultation, if you need my lawyer, check all the everything in the description. Also, you can drop me a comment. It helps to push the algorithm. Drop a comment if you have a question I can answer. If you want me to make another video tailored to anything, please do well to drop it down, and I got you. You know what I mean? Thank you so much, and stay blessed.